Hello, I'm Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and welcome to my channel. For my old and new subscribers, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're just stopping by, I hope you will consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Today's video will be about the total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius on May 26, 2021. If you want to contact me for a reading, either astrological or with cards, all my contact information will be in the description box below. And now, let's talk about the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. On May 26th, there will be a total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius at 5 degrees. If you have the Ascendant, Midheaven, Sun, Moon, or a first house planet in Sagittarius between 0 and 10 degrees, you will be affected by this eclipse. People with Sagittarius rising at 0 to 10 degrees will be affected the most. Also, people with Leo rising 0 to 10 degrees or Aries at 0 to 10 degrees will also be affected. All three could experience ultimately a positive change in their life, but it may not seem positive while it's happening. Just know that the universe is shaking things up for a good reason. Maybe helping you to make changes that are difficult for you to do or that you are reluctant to do, or the universe could be helping you make a change that you don't think you're capable of doing. If you have an astrological point in one of the other mutable signs at 0 to 10 degrees, and those other mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces, this eclipse will be challenging and bring you a change that is very difficult to accept. Nonetheless, the eclipse and its relentless movement will force you to make that change. If you have If you have an astrological point at 0 to 10 degrees of Libra or Aquarius, you will have a positive experience with this eclipse, although you may experience the change indirectly through a friend, a relative, or neighbor. If you have an astrological point at 0 to 10 degrees in Taurus, Scorpio, or Capricorn, you may not be affected by this eclipse and may not feel it at all. This is a lunar eclipse, so it will be an ending of some sort, but it is also in a fire sign. So we may see a sensational event inspired by the actions of others. It may involve dissension among men, excessive heat, lack of rain, fire, fevers, movements of armies, death or imprisonment of great men, religious disputes, or the destruction of cud-chewing animals. Yes, I said the destruction of cud-chewing animals. You heard me. This is a lunar eclipse in a fire sign, but it is a lunar eclipse. So it will definitely affect the house where Cancer is prominent, as Cancer is ruled by the moon. There will be an emotional quality about the situation created by the eclipse, no matter what. It could affect and touch off planets in the house with Cancer on the cusp. In other words, this eclipse may affect more than your ascendant, first house planets, Sun, or moon. Any natal planet can be affected by an eclipse, but in general, a lunar eclipse will bring about a culmination or ending to something. Since eclipses repeat every 19 years, you could look back at your life and see what was happening in May 2002, maybe around Memorial Day weekend. And you will get an idea of the area of life where the next dramatic change will come. It will not be an absolute repeat, but it will affect the same area of life. Eclipses focus their energy and affect us when they touch planets, especially in our first house, and this includes the sun and the moon. So very often the body, the appearance, or your very identity will be affected. If the midheaven is affected, it will affect something about the career, your standing with the public, and your legacy. The main planet in the United States chart that is affected by this eclipse is Uranus. The only thing one can glean clearly about that is that this event will be very surprising. It could alter conservative or conventional workplaces. It could affect things having to do with computer systems of the US, or bring about some surprising weather event. Uranus, being the planet of surprises and chaos, is very hard to predict. So that's about all you can say about that with the USA chart. For our president, Joe Biden, however, this eclipse hits a lot of points. The moon is conjunct his sun, Venus, and ascendant, opposing his Saturn and Uranus in the seventh house. The sun and node fall directly on his natal sun. This will spotlight a culmination of great importance for Biden. It may reflect more in the personal arena because this is involving his first and seventh houses. Saturn and Uranus connecting with the eclipse points tells us that not only will there be changes that impact the females in Joe Biden's life, but his male relationships may change as well. I feel that this could portend Mitch McConnell's exit from the Senate. He is a longtime colleague for Joe, one that has frequently had a powerful impact on Joe's achievements for good and bad. This eclipse could mark a time between Saturn, representing the elderly, and Uranus, representing the new and unconventional, when the old establishment literally gives way to the new. And if you consider the Congress is like a partner to the United States president, it could allow Joe to achieve something. It could allow Joe to achieve some other long-term goal that he has had during his time working with his political foes and allies. Sag is all about idealistic things, diplomacy, far-ranging humanitarian ideas and works, high ideals, and wide-ranging projects that make everyone feel good. And these are all on Biden's agenda. I'm not saying that all of the ills of the US are going to be cured by Joe Biden on May 26th, but it will mark a culmination of certain things that he holds dear. There could be some sort of personal achievement that is finally completed at this time. Now, eclipses can show their impact 5 days before or 5 days after the actual eclipse, or even 1 month before or 1 month after the date of the eclipse. This means that there will be a period of waiting to see how to assess this particular eclipse as it concerns Joe Biden's achievements. However, I'm going to make a few predictions. This change or achievement will involve the women in Joe Biden's life. It will be a culmination or ending of something for Biden, not a beginning. There will be a very emotional quality surrounding the eclipse action. It will be a moment that we remember, and this is because actions taken at the time of an eclipse tend to speed up in our minds. Some kind of truth will be revealed as the action of the eclipse unfolds. This culmination or ending may allow Joe Biden to accomplish something he never thought he would be able to do. Now, this next bit is from an article that I pulled from Danielle Page, and I believe it's from 2012. I'm sorry, Danielle, I could not find an exact date for this article. The Sagittarius lunar eclipse in general carries with it themes of growth, truth, and consciousness, expansion beyond limiting beliefs, beyond borders, and beyond the veil that separates us from the divine. The sun will be in Gemini. This pulls us down to reality, to the here and now, facts versus intuition. Gemini, the twins, wants details, the nitty gritty, but quickly and not in too much depth. Then you have Sagittarius, the archer, pushing for truth, knowledge, enlightenment, and freedom from limitations. This push and pull is creating a dynamic change between our higher minds, Sagittarius, and our lower minds, Gemini. Throw in Jupiter squaring the eclipse, and this expands the energies, giving more weight to the Sagittarius side of the equation. Jupiter is now in Pisces, where it emphasizes helping the poor, the sick, the disenfranchised. Perhaps we will finally grant free or inexpensive health care to everyone. Saturn is in Aquarius, where it points its spotlight on practical humanitarian needs. Saturn recognizes that raising people out of poverty benefits us as a whole and creates a healthier society. Jupiter in Pisces will highlight where healing, charity, enlightenment, and spirituality can benefit humankind. In general, it will be a nurturing, healing part of this eclipse experience. Think of this eclipse as updating an app on your phone. It's time. The other one was outdated. There were some glitches in the programming. Many people complained. There was a lot of back and forth, and finally they adjusted it. Once you download the newer app, you'll be surprised by just how much freedom this information and new programming actually gives you. Knowledge is power, and when you put it to good use, it frees you from the mundane and moves you to a higher level. Thank you for viewing this video about the total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. I hope you learned a little bit about eclipses, and I hope you enjoyed hearing this information. If you would like a personal reading from me, my contact information is in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll leave me a few comments and let me know what you thought about this video. Take care, and I'll see you next time.